Hello everyone, I am Shani Prabhat, an alumni of SOS Herman Minor School, Chap, Varanasi, and currently I am working in same school as a teacher. Right now you are going through the pages of Think Big, one of the best-selling book on motivation and leadership, written by our principal Dr. Ambika Prasad Gaur sir. And today's topic of discussion is keep believing in yourself and never quit. Yes, keep believing in yourself and never quit. Please go through the video and watch it till the end. And don't forget to share with your friends and family. And also subscribe this channel for more videos update. Thank you. Have a happy reading.
Hello friends, you are going through the pages of Think Big, the book on motivation and leadership. And today's topic is keep believing in yourself and never quit. Trusting yourself is a vital component to living and achieving success. We all have an inner compass, our internal guidance system, also known as our instinct, intuition, or gut feeling, which guides us at all steps in our lives. It is the greatest tool we have, free of cost. We have all the answers inside us, provided we have faith in ourselves. Let us first of all learn how to believe in ourselves before making the world believe in us. The following stories may be of some interest to you. Jerry was the kind of guy you love to hate. He was always in a good mood and always had something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he was doing, he would reply, "If I were any better, I would be twins." I repeat, "If I were any better, I would be twins." That was the answer given by the fellow. He was a unique manager because he had several waiters who had followed him around from restaurant to restaurant. The reason the waiters followed Jerry was because of his attitude. He was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, Jerry was there telling the employee how to look on the positive side of the situation. One day, a man went up to Jerry and asked him, "I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all of the time. How do you do it?" Jerry replied, "Each morning I wake up and say to me, Jerry, you have two choices today. You have choose to be in a good mood or you can choose to be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim or I can choose to learn from it. I choose to learn from it. Every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining or I can point out the positive side of life. I choose the positive side of life." "Yeah, right. But it is not that easy," the man protested. "Yes, it is," Jerry said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react to situations. You choose how people will affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or bad mood. The bottom line is, it's your choice how you live your life." The man reflected on what Jerry said and thereafter lost touch, but often thought about him when he made a choice about life instead of reacting to it. Several years later, the man heard that Jerry did something one is never supposed to do in a restaurant business. He left the back door open one morning and was held up at gunpoint by 3 armed robbers. While trying to open the safe, his hand, shaking from nervousness, slipped off the combination. The robbers panicked and shot him. Luckily, Jerry was found relatively quickly and rushed to the local trauma center. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks of intensive care, Jerry was released from the hospital with fragments of the bullets still in his body. The man saw Jerry about 6 months after the accident. When asked how he was, he replied, "If I were any better, I would be twins. Want to see my scars?" The man declined to see his wounds, but did ask him what had gone through his mind as the robbery took place. "The first thing that went through my mind was that I should have locked the back door," Jerry replied. "Then, as I lay on the floor, I remembered that I had two choices. I could choose to live or I could choose to die. I choose to live." "Weren't you scared? Did you lose consciousness?" the man asked. Jerry continued, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the emergency room and I saw the expression on the faces of the doctors and nurses, I got really scared. In their eyes, I read, 'He's a dead man.' I knew I needed to take action." "What did you do?" the man asked. "Well, there was a big burly nurse shouting questions at me," said Jerry. "She asked if I was allergic to anything. Yes, I replied. The doctors and nurses stopped working as they waited for my reply. I took a deep breath and yelled, 'Bullets!' Over their laughter, I told them I am choosing to live. Operate on me as if I am alive, not dead." Jerry lived thanks to the skills of the doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude. We can learn from him that every day we have the choice to live fully. Attitude, after all, is everything. Now, another story. Face difficulties positively. This parable is told of a farmer who owned an old mule. The mule fell into the farmer's well. The farmer heard the mule praying, or whatever mules do when they fall into wells. After carefully assessing the situation, the farmer sympathized with the mule but decided that neither the mule nor the well was worth the trouble of saving. Instead, he called his neighbors together, told them what had happened, and enlisted them to help haul dirt to bury the old mule in the well and put him out of his misery. Initially, the old mule was hysterical, but as the farmer and his neighbors continued shoveling and the dirt hit his back, a thought struck him. It suddenly dawned on him that every time a shovel load of dirt landed on his back, he would shake it off and step up. This he did, blow after blow. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. He repeated to encourage himself. No matter how painful the blows or how distressing the situation seemed, the old mule fought panic and just kept right on shaking it off and stepping up. It wasn't long before the old mule, battered and exhausted, stepped over the wall of that well. What seemed like it would bury him actually helped him, all because of the manner in which he handled his adversity. That is life. If we face our problems and respond to them positively and refuse to give in to panic, bitterness, or self-pity, we can have a better and more fulfilling future. There is another story titled Temper Control. There once was a little boy who had a bad temper. His father gave him a bag of nails and told him that every time he lost his temper, he must hammer a nail into the fence. The first day, the boy had driven 37 nails into the fence. Over the next few weeks, as he learned to control his anger, the number of nails hammered daily gradually dwindled down. He discovered it was easier to hold his temper than to drive those nails into the fence. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father about it, and the father suggested that the boy now pull out one nail for each day that he was able to hold his temper. The days passed, and the young boy was finally able to tell his father that all the nails were gone. The father took his son by the hand and led him to the fence. He said, "You have done well, my son, but look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar just like this one. You can put a knife in a man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say, 'I'm sorry.' The wound is still there. Make sure you control your temper the next time you are tempted to say something you will regret later." There is another story titled "Learn from Mistakes." Thomas Edison tried 2000 different materials in search of a filament for the light bulb. When none worked satisfactorily, his assistant complained, "All our work is in vain. We have learned nothing." Edison replied very confidently, "Oh, we have come a long way and we have learned a lot. We know that there are 2000 elements which we cannot use to make a good light bulb." Another story, friends. You were created to soar to success. At times, we have to come across unprecedented situations and our nerves get numb, unable to move a bit. It is because we are afraid to come out of our comfort zones. We only think of the troubled path ahead, but would not imagine of the new opportunities waiting for us there. Our thought process is exactly the same as the thoughts creeping in the mind of a small droplet of rain while coming down onto the earth. It thinks of the possible disasters ahead, like mixing with soil, dropping down on fire, losing existence by drowning into a river, etc. But it actually falls down into the mouth of an oyster and transforms into a beautiful pearl. This is the mental state of almost every human being too. Human mind, by default, thinks of disasters first. Now enjoy reading the following story. "Come to the edge of the nest," said the mother eagle to her babies. The 3 eaglets peered over and looked down, daring not to go too far near the edge. "We are afraid," they replied, as they hid under the safety of their mother's comfortable wings. "Come here, see and craze, and I will help you." They came, and with a loving, watchful eye, the mother eagle gently pushed the young eaglets out of their nest, and with a courageous spirit, the eaglets flew upward and onward to accomplish their desired goals. In our journey through life, like the eaglets, we were created to soar upward and onward to new, exciting experiences and a meaningful future. So, take a step out of your comfort zone, extend out, reach ahead, stretch further than where you are today to get to where you desire to be tomorrow. What really matters to you? Have you clearly defined what you would like in your life? Now, do you believe you can attain it? Factors may be weighing against you, but do not be constrained by your circumstances. Sometimes we may be impelled or pushed out of a comfortable place to stretch us into a new terrain of blessings, where the outcome is far better than we could ever have imagined. There is another story of Chuan and Jing. Dear friends, Chuan and Jing joined a wholesale company together just after graduation. Both worked very hard. After several years, the boss promoted Jing to sales executive, but Chuan remained a sales representative. One day, Chuan could not take it anymore and tendered his resignation to the boss. He complained that the boss did not value hard-working staff but only promoted those who flattered him. The boss knew that Chuan worked very hard for the years, but in order to help Chuan realize the difference between him and Jing, the boss asked Chuan to do the following. Go and find out anyone selling watermelon in the market. Chuan returned and said yes. The boss asked how much per kg. Chuan went back to the market to ask and returned to inform boss 12 bucks. Boss told Chuan, I will ask Jing the same question. Jing went, returned and said, boss, only one person is selling watermelon, 12 bucks per kg, 100 bucks for 10 kg. He has inventory of 340 melons. On the table, he has 58 melons. Every melon weighs about 15 kgs. Bought from the south 2 days ago. They are fresh and red and have good quality. Chuan was very impressed and realized the difference between himself and Jing. He decided not to resign but to learn from Jing. My dear friends, a more successful person is more observant, think more and understand in depth. For the same matter, a more successful person sees several years ahead while you see only tomorrow. The difference between a year and a day is 365 times. How could you win? Think. How far have you seen ahead in your life? How thoughtful in depth are you? Overcome the fear of loss. We all are afraid of losing what we have all the time, holding on to it so tight that not a soul can touch it. We think by hiding it from the world, it is hidden and it is ours. Nothing is, nothing ever will be, for nothing ever was. If you think there is anything that you have that is yours, be it money, a house, a job, or a girlfriend, is nothing but an illusion. It will all disappear in one blow. One blow, my man. There goes a story about the legendary warrior Arjun, who lost his dearest son Abhimanyu in the battle of Mahabharata. Seeing his morose, sickly, and unable to continue the battle, Lord Krishna proposed to him to visit heaven in order to see the celestial form of his loving son. To this, Arjun readily agreed and set forth for a journey to heaven with Lord Krishna. When they saw Abhimanyu there, Arjuna hugged him tightly and started crying loudly, saying, My son, why did you leave me in a lurch? How will I live my life now without you? The celestial form of Abhimanyu laughed heartily and said, O Arjun, I remember having fathered you 10 times, and you have fathered me only 5 times yet. In this cycle of birth, death and rebirth, who is the real father and who the real son is? Don't behave like a fool and go back to the earth. You have a pending battle to win, and come back here after you complete your earthly duties. There is nothing you can ever achieve or gain that you cannot lose in a matter of seconds. You have never gained enough to not to be able to lose it all in just a few minutes. What you think is yours was never yours and will never be yours. Whatever you make here, you leave here. You came naked and you are going to go back naked. Here we are, so insecure that we are afraid of restarting our lives. So we just carry on trying to sort out the current mess. The thought that we should give it all up and just start all over with nothing might cross our minds sometime, sure, but we get scared and we push away anything that scares us. So, what are you afraid of? Let all be lost. Let them take away everything. As long as you have your heart beating strong, as long as you have your nostrils working fine, as long as the blood flows in your veins, you will live, you will breathe, and you will get it all back again and again. For if you can do it once, you can damn well do it again. It is just a game we play, and the game is life. So good luck to all of you. Thank you very much.